Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Slay the Spire. Yesterday's did not go very well at all, but today, doing it close to the end. So the classic Wednesday conundrum of a late daily. You rank lower, but it's more representative of where you really belong. Where the eagles fly on the mountain high and all that. All-Star, 5 colorless cards, gets your game on, go play. The defect, time dilation. So generally speaking, I love time dilation because at the very least it gives enemies -1 artifact. And then lethality is super dangerous, but also potentially fun. Incentivizes stuff that gives us multiple attacks for less energy. Let's give it a try. I also, administratively, I have been informed by Slatus Katz, my Slay the Spire informant, that Mind Bloom no longer gives you extra points. So we can rework the way we approach the third floor and not necessarily prioritize question marks above all else every single time. But we'll worry about that when/if we get there. So we either want to go, we want to hit this or we want to hit this. I want the path that does not have a shop. You know what? This seems relatively nice to take this path. It puts us on certain future, which is, of course, exactly where you want to be at all times. Let's weaken this guy. Deep breath. There's no way to not take damage. So we'll ice this fool, defend. We take 4. Oh, well. Life goes on. We tried. Yeah, he's done next turn. Hit him with the dual cast dad. We want to prioritize. Well, let's look at this first. Generally speaking, I really like Turbo in the defect deck. And we'll almost always take this, especially when it shows up early. The thing about Turbo is that it really only becomes a negative. I'll take a little bit more damage, unfortunately. It really only becomes a negative in situations where the fight is long. If the fight is short, then you don't actually have to worry about the supposed negative effect. I've just got to look at this for a second. Secret weapon just gives us a strike. We have 3 energy. We need to do 17 damage. It can happen. It just requires 2 strikes. And I don't think we need another turbo. That would probably be a little bit over the top. I'm getting a little nervous now, because I'm like, if these guys attack on the same turn, which they're doing, we're not taking any damage, thankfully, but we almost could have. Wait a minute. Why did our strike do 12 damage? Time dilation! That's right. So it normally... Come on. It normally does 9, but because we played enough cards, it did 12. That's sensible. Is there any attack? No, the attacks are strikes. You know, I should point out, we're better off playing 2 strikes than a Mind Blast right now. I really wanted that to not be a defend, because we could have killed him, but we can kill him next turn. The only thing I'm worried about is our first floor and our very first elite right now. Boot sequence is very helpful. Actually, we got 2 elites that we fight before we get any campfire whatsoever. Okay, I've made a horrible decision here, and all we can really do is try to roll with it. Secret weapon just gives us strikes. We can just have it show up later. Unless we have a 0-cost attack, which we do not. Alright. Highly dangerous. I want to make that abundantly clear. Well, I mean... what can you say, right? Like, I've kind of created this situation for myself. 9/9, it's 18 plus 16. It's 34 damage. We would be almost dead, but is this the best way to approach it? Mind Blast is not really what we're looking for. I don't like this very much at all. I also felt like that was probably our best option. Okay, Singing Bowl. Rebound is really good, but... if you'll forgive me for a moment, I've made... oh, let's go. Okay. Heal for 25. That gives us a chance to pull out of this. Unfortunately, I'm prioritizing Singing Bowl a little bit more than I otherwise would. Because healing for 2 HP, most of the time, makes no difference. This time could save us from certain death. So, play your 0-cost cards for time dilation purposes. Now you've got an 11 damage. Maybe we can get to a 12 damage. And then dual cast gets a for sure kill. Okay, we're rebuilding. Go for the eyes is beautiful. So is reinforced body, probably. Bottled flame. We already have this innate. I'd rather have go for the eyes. It gives us a really good turn defensively. Because now, you know, we get 3 block by default on that guy. Although boot sequence probably renders that irrelevant. We might as well just start hitting somebody. 16 damage. Well, still 16 damage. Oh, because they're not time dilated, of course. Probably could have gone for this guy instead. He's more likely to kill, but all we need is 2 strikes to wipe this sentry. And I think it's how we're going to start. That's 11 block by itself. So we take 6, but that's not that bad. I think we're out in front. There's like a curve to this fight, and we're out in front of the curve. I'm not much for, well, no, we're not in front of the curve, unfortunately. We thought we were in front of the curve, and we were sorely mistaken. Still, start wiping him anyway. Now we're on the curve. Hopefully we're on the apex of the curve. I don't want to intimidate you with my amazing knowledge of auto racing. I've played a lot of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec in my day. I am an expert. He's done. He's still done, but it took us an extra card. Okay. Orichalcum, pretty useful. Cold Snap, very, very useful in my opinion. It's a beloved card. I respect and appreciate it more than you could ever know. 17 damage, which would actually be 20, take you to 42. Kind of like a perfect place for you to be, so we can destroy you next turn. Or, if you wanted to... actually, there's no way that I could not get him to split this turn, so it made the most sense to split him right here. With 10 damage, that's 1 strike territory. As long as we can do some time dilation, but the, you know, extra 3 damage from the lightning helps out a lot as well. Cool-headed is fine. If you have full frost orbs, I think. We can't. Most of the time, I would love to. This time, we can't. I wish we could. It's because of the path that I chose. We made some mistakes. Well, this is essential. If we do this in the right order, I'm not suggesting we're gonna destroy any enemies, but we couldn't have played the defend. We can't draw. 14 plus 6, 20 damage. I mean, we can get 5 more block. I'm not really concerned about that. Considering, you know, it's always tough to articulate this stuff on video. No question one of you is going to die in that attack. It's always hard to articulate this stuff on video, but it's my own mistake that got me into this position, and it was decent play that got me out. So I'm not saying we played well on this floor. All I'm saying is, this is an okay turn. I think we'll just pop these right off the bat. All I'm saying merely is we recovered pretty okay from our earlier idiocy. So definitely there's no perfect coming. We can get to 19, we can get to 25 block on 45 damage. I think that's the right way to approach it on turn 1 here. Turn 2. Still a very nasty hit. Now we only need to put up a little block. Weakness is also fine. We'll strike you. Go for the eyes. That's an extra turn of weakness. Secret weapon into a strike is okay. And, I mean, dual cast is 24 damage. We have Zap in the deck, so I think we might as well go for it. Totally forgot we had Orichalcum as well. So if we just don't play block, we don't have to worry about our current situation. Alternatively, we could block, but I don't really want to put this up at the front, you know? I think you just call it here. We take no damage, we do another 7. Boot sequence is not necessary. If it's not necessary, I think we should not play it. That way we can grab it later. It's slow, but I have only added like 4 cards to this deck. Okay, this is your turn of buffing. Choose one of those. Deep breath into an attack. Hopefully that's not an attack, but it's nice to get rid of a burn. Just to be safe. 81 damage. It's possible we might be able to get 14 damage. Let me... So we got 18, basically. And I'm losing my mind here, because obviously we are not going to get him killed before he gets all the way around. Okay, now we're in dual cast territory. That went much better. I don't know, maybe, can we do 31 damage? That's basically 24 damage. And we'd have to do it on this turn, which is obviously impossible. Well, we have 18 block if we do nothing. This only gives us 3 extra block on top of it, so I think you might just call it here, and we're not going to die. In fact, we're not even really going to be close. But it's not really a great vote of confidence early on here. Alright, we lived. All these cards are great. I think you got to take Electrodynamics, though. And probably Cursed Key. The energy is really important, and Velvet Choker is just horrendous. Every time I've taken it, it hasn't turned out to be a loss every time, but it does basically suck every time. I think we can only get 2 elites no matter what we do, and we definitely want to hit the shop. So we made a very idiotic mistake on the first floor, in case you were wondering how I feel about that. I feel not good about that. Doesn't really matter what we play there. He's not time dilated, remember that. And we have 6 block. Doesn't matter. Play everything. The idiotic mistake was in our placement. There was really no reason we should have put ourselves in the certain future path. Do we want? I'm like, secret weapon, cold snap, electrodynamics. That doesn't seem like the best thing. Can we kill him this turn is what I'm trying to think of. Like, electrodynamics followed by a dual cast. I don't even think it gets us close. We have no defense, though. What about a Zap Electrodynamics dual cast? Or a Cold Snap? I'm losing it. So let's say, if we hypothetically, Secret Weapon, Cold Snap. We got a Frost Orb here. Electrodynamics, Kung Kung. We do 8 damage. He's at 29. We got a Frost Orb right here. We dual cast for 10 block. It's not horrible. We were not going to kill him anyway, but to at least block some of that, I think, was probably our best option, even though it pains me a great deal. I need or I would like a self-repair for certain. I like a lot of this, actually. Defrag's useful. Steam Barrier, but without an all-for-one, it's a little bit less tempting. That's fine. We'll just remove it. Actually, we're kind of in that awkward, like, 2 relic zone, but we definitely have to remove it. 20 damage, huh? That's awkward. Alright, well, we're only going to take 4 damage instead, which is substantially better. Thank you, Ornamental Fan and Cold Snap. What a turn, dude. What are we supposed to do about this? You get iced. 36 damage. I mean, you should be made blind, probably. 15. Okay, it took 5 damage off, which is more than it would have done. We got no other choice in the matter here, really. Okay, let's just hope the lightning hits you. We might not be completely screwed. Although, the more time that goes on here, the more I'm like, maybe I'm completely screwed. We only need 15 block, and this is a situation where it appears extremely unlikely that we're gonna kill this guy on this turn. Actually, if I just hit you with that, you definitely would have died. But you're also not going to hurt me at all, so... This is only like 2 combat, so... I'm a little worried about the fact that we've lost effectively half of our HP. I don't really like those. Let's keep cranking a little. Okay. Well... Hologram is amazing. Let's remove our curse first. I don't really like any of these that much. Rip and Tear, I think, is good with extra strength. I did take a second boot sequence because, you know, if I'm being honest, I'm just a little bit scared. So we just reworked the deck with a lot of cheap cards, a lot of attacks. Jax is interesting, right? Like, I'm gonna decline just because we don't have any HP to build off, but I'm cognizant of the fact that may be highly the incorrect decision. 12. I would expect to get hit here as well. Unfortunately. I wish that it weren't so. 18. I guess you would hologram into a boot sequence. Well... yeah. I'd rather zap just to have fuel back here for later. We take 3 damage, not that big of a deal, but it's getting worse turn to turn. $18. Okay. So we'd like to play Reinforced Body for 3 if possible, and you found the ability to do that. Just a very delicate dance we got going on. Thankfully, he's weak for another turn. This one is not so good. Unless, and we are so lucky. Look at that. Data disc. Very strong, in my opinion. But none of these really tickle my fancy that much. Give me a quick rest here. I don't know, dude. I'm looking at these 1400 scores going, I have done something clearly and highly incorrect. I think we want to go like... amazing. It's very tough to not take damage on this first turn. I think we got pretty lucky there. Strike is more or less necessary. Then we need 21 blocks. Something like a hologram. Reinforced Body is at least a start. Doesn't quite get us there, but... we might not even want to play it. Do we want to play Electro, though? Just that we play all these, we get to 9 block. Amazing. If we play none of them, we get to 6 block. So, kind of the opinion that you probably just go aggressive on the lightning to whittle him down faster. And my idea of rolling a super fast deck clearly not really working out right now. Oh! That's so bad. We would have taken no damage if that hadn't been our 3rd attack with Ornamental Fan. You're not dead. Now you're dead. Take Rebound, but... getting a little upset, getting a little nervous here that we have any chance to make this happen, but, you know, for now, we're still in it. If it weren't for time dilation, we'd be in a nightmare spot. Really, like, that's allowing us to get a ton of value in areas that otherwise I'm not convinced we ever would have. So we want to get to, if possible, we can play everything. Okay, so let's do that. If I can get to 11 damage out of a single attack, you gotta love that. Now, we're going to take some damage, without a doubt. 15, yeah, we're going to take 7. But we're getting, again, ahead of the curve is a good way to describe it. Probably a very good turn to play that. Now this time, take Rip and Tear. They're both dead. Okay, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about except every enemy taking off like 10% of our HP and slowly contributing to a guaranteed loss. Anchor. It's really... I don't know if it's worth it. I think all for one is starting to become worth it. And you know what? I have to admit, I feel really strongly about it because of the fact that I'm dodging this elite. Embarrassingly enough, I'm dodging the elite. I'll admit it. I wish it weren't like that. But it is. Pretty strong first turn, though. Could have rebounded Mind Blast. What does it come back for? It would do 22 damage on turn 2. It's not terrible, honestly. Like, is this even... I guess we could hologram boot sequence. Okay, that's one way to do it. Ooh, 0 energy electrodynamics. Incredibly strong. Can I kill you? 18 damage plus 9 damage. I don't think I can kill you. How did you get to be so strong? Is it possible to learn this power? You are dead. Never mind. We shouldn't have popped the block potion. Take another rebound just in case. I'm learning we might have a little bit too much utility and not enough damage in this deck. We may have constructed an albatross. $15 damage. That's easy enough. Like, look, that was extremely great. I had a wonderful time. Okay. Now you buff strength, which means your friend is destroyed. Very sorry to be the bearer of bad news, potentially. Ornamental Fan is 50-50, I gotta be honest. If we can get more attacks, it's almost endlessly gonna be good, I think. Hit you for 9. You're not gonna... Well, hit you for 12. You're still not gonna die. But we're also taking no damage, so let's just do that. Alrighty. Well, I mean, this was a much more encouraging fight. It's tough. I mean, I want all of these. Could you not just take one and disperse them through earlier card rewards? It's hard to say no to double energy, I think, because it's always going to be good. It's always going to be something you're going to like to see on the turn in which you get it. 13. Well, we're not playing 3 attacks. Do we really want to play both boot sequences? Probably, I think is a good, honest answer. We can't rely on grabbing them later. Although we absolutely could have grabbed them right here. Go for the eyes is what we would get out of all for one. It's not a block, but... Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to pop both of these. Here's the thing. We're not getting out of this turn without playing 3 attacks, which means we're not going to get Orichalcum. So I think we should just accept maybe that, like an all for one, go for the eyes, gives us some block. And then Cold Snap channels some Frost, which helps us out. Oh, and we have one more attack that we can do. And I as much as Rip and Tear is better for damage, I think having the lightning keeping us hydrated here is very smart. So we'll good instincts, deep breath. This is all for time dilation purposes. Hologram exhausts. So it's a bit of a risky play. All to get a 10 damage vulnerability we can't take advantage of, but... You know, if we ever get the chance to upgrade, that's going to be a high priority for us. Secret weapon. You could do a Mind Blast, but I think we're better. Maybe... zero cost, but... Well, we got a nice economy of damage coming out here. He's doing 19, which is not good. We don't need to double energy this turn. If we don't need to double energy, we probably should avoid double energying. We're going to play 3 attacks, so playing a defend doesn't matter. It's not going to ruin Orichalcum. It's the best we could have done, really. Now he's going to undebuff himself. We haven't taken very much damage at all here. That feels great. He doesn't heal himself. I just wanted to get a Frost Orb in here. Now, he's going to hit us pretty hard, but hopefully we can... I mean, he's going to hit us for 72. That's not pretty hard. That's, like, insanely hard. Now's the right time to pop that. And, you know, why not all for one? I mean, if we have 0 cost stuff, This is when it's going to be at its best. Okay, so now he's doing 54 damage. Substantially better. Ah, we've made Mind Blast a lot better. I've just accepted, by the way, we're going to take damage. We've already taken some, so it doesn't matter too much. We're just trying to keep ourselves alive enough to be able to kill him easily on the next turn, hopefully. This is, again, a great deep breath opportunity. Probably do like a beam cell, go for the eyes. He's dead? He's not dead. He's dead if we, like, play one card. Okay, much to my surprise, hanging in there. That was very strong, actually. We don't channel that much lightning, so I think Core Surge is our best option. This is highly not good. Because we can play curses? Like, I think the White Beast statue is okay, but I think if we want to get ourselves out of this pit, we got to take a Hail Mary. I don't like taking Calling Bell without Omamori. But remember, we have Cursed Key. Sorry, we have Blue Candle. Oddly Smooth Stone, Molten Egg, Turnip. Well, we can't become frail, so one of these curses is irrelevant. Irrelevant-ish. 1, 2... I don't know, man. We don't have any sort of Wombus going on here. Not even close to a Wombus. Of the Combus variety. Not my favorite turn. But by leaving the boot sequences, we can use all for one to grab them later. This time. I think Rebound, Rip and Tear is totally fine. Electrodynamics is good for the future. But this is going to be way more like we're not coming in with a baseball bat like a Louisville Slugger and just knocking enemies, you know, from the top rope. Clearly, as you can tell, I'm a huge baseball fan. Well, hologram, boot sequence, reinforced body does give us enough. We're coming in here and we're bunting. This is like Billy Bean Baseball, a sacrifice bunt. Rebound dual cast puts us in a decent spot. So next turn we've got a guaranteed 18 damage. We only need to hit you for 10 and we're no longer weak. Play that. Play this. Alright. That's like the first fight in 100 years we didn't take damage on. So I'm feeling good about that. Lose dual cast, electro, or strike. 100%. Dude, that is the easiest choice I've made in my adult life. Take strike. 0% chance we want anything other than Bag of Prep is my expectation here. Especially with innate curses, we need a more draw right off the bat. We didn't have the money to remove another curse, which maybe I should have thought about before, but... well... here's the thing. You get 10% extra damage every card. So, although it's best to play Mind Blast before we draw, which we're going to do as Secret Weapon, it's substantially better to be like boot sequence, go for the eyes. This is already doing 42 damage. Then Secret Weapon, Beam Cell, easy kill. Might as well play Reinforced Body. I don't really care if that hangs around. The problem is getting these guys killed in an expedited fashion. Man, they're doing like a lot of damage. What about a turbo for time dilation purposes almost exclusively? How many zero costers we got there? 3? It's not horrible. In that case, I kind of like a rebound all for one. Which allows us to do... well, what does a strike do? 11? Weaken this guy then. He's doing 16. 12. Beam Cell, Turbo. A little Cold Snap on you. Look at that. Okay. Now we got some voids that are going to be coming around eventually. We did take damage regardless. I guess I don't really care if we gain Frail. Right, because we've shuffled our discard pile. It makes sense. I'm not happy about it, but it makes sense. 9 damage, because you don't have time dilation after you come back. Good to know. Annoying, but good to know. Well, I would say we got pretty lucky. How on earth are we going to kill these guys fast enough, though? It's going to say, like, a Mind Blast would be super useful here. You're most likely to live, so... Thank God. Okay. Now it is exactly the same situation repeated yet again. 4 energy in hand. Yeah, let's do it like this then. You will live yet again. We've made the slightest bit of progress, though. Alright. Like, here's the thing. Daddy needs Mind Blast. Like Lisa needs braces. Well, I can't hit you for 18. It's just not gonna happen. Alright, we made no progress on that. One of these days, though, dude. One of these days. That's not Mind Blast is the thing. So, I'm gonna hit you, and you're dead. Okay. I'm gonna all for one. And now we got you. It took long enough. We finally... You're still dead. Okay, even though we drew the void. I got very scared there for a second. You could say sweeping beam with the energy we have might be better, I'll admit. Ooh. Not really worth all that much, actually. We'll pop a defend, and then we'll hit you with a Mind Blast. Just for maximum damage. No frailty? No frailty. Weak, but no frailty. Okay, double energy is unnecessary. That's your turn. Oops. Secret weapon. I really like Cold Snap. If we can do like a rebound Cold Snap, I'm a happy man. Our score is going to be like, if we win today, I think it'll be like 800. We're taking 1 damage. Like, the fact that there were 1,400 scores, usually there's not this much of a divergence. I don't blame anybody but myself, but... It's a big difference, you know? Alright, now we're relying a little bit more on these frost orbs, and it's got me feeling a little better, I think. Like, we have 6 block by default. The hologram into... I mean, 1 boot sequence would probably be fine. And if we can get something that costs 0, I mean, we could get another boot sequence. That's unnecessary, though. But, yeah, it's more than unnecessary. You should have taken a 1 energy attack. That was a misplay. You're still weak, thankfully. Let's deep breath real quick. 40 damage is nothing to sneeze at, but... not much we can do about that. Please. Alright, well he's doing 80 damage, but he's dead. So that's good. I guess you take Claw. We know what we're guilty of here is trying to force an all-for-one deck in a situation where it may not be relevant to do so. I would agree with that assessment. Maybe skip too many cards, too. What do you think about that? Think we skip too many? We need 16 block. All for one is almost like an obvious play. You're doing 12 damage. Well, I would rather not play this then. Turn 1, if we didn't play a boot sequence, is just a great opportunity for us to get something out of it. You know what? We could probably get away with this here. Many different options you could take, but I chose the weakness. Time will tell. Or maybe it won't. That was a good decision. Well, Claw, Core Surge, Hologram, we got 2 energy left. I think this is where your Wombus, for the first time in the entire deck's history, the Wombus exists. We actually did like 100 damage in a single turn. I hate that Frailty takes my artifact off, by the way. Don't think I didn't notice that. Even though I can't become frail. It still triggers Core Surge. It is time. I gotta be honest with you, you may be correct. It may be time. I have to get 28 block. We could easily do it. This doesn't really give us a whole lot. Jeez. Okay, pop this. Use Ball Lightning for some damage. Now you're taking none. But, you know, again, it's a little bit too slow. And this is not helping. Taking 10. Please stop attacking. Is my suggestion here. This is while he's weak, which is the worst part. So we're taking another 10. This might be where it all falls apart. 39 damage. Okay, be smart, be smart. You don't want to play Deep Breath yet. You would definitely play Turbo. I think you would... Let me see what's in here that's 0 cost. We don't need to weaken him is the thing. We don't need another turbo. Okay, so start with an all for 1. And then hit him with the stuff that costs 0 and doesn't attack. Then you're going to hit him with like a beam cell, a go for the eyes for damage. This is 50 damage. Hologram. Bring that exact thing back. Or bring back all for 1 for that matter. Okay, we lived. We lived and it was highly deserved. We did not get lucky there in the least. And anybody who says that we did can't be trusted. If you transform a curse, it becomes another curse. Let's transform something we do not really like perhaps a basic strike has become fission. Perhaps my pick for the worst card in the game. Oh, Momori. I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of like just in time. Can't afford any other cards. I mean, removing Pain, I think, to keep us alive. If we had Pain in hand on a lot of our previous situations, we would have just literally died. So, I think a Core Surge makes the most sense here. So now that blocked 10 damage per turn. We'll weaken, put up some block, which we shouldn't have done because we're not going to do 3 attacks, but... We take 9 damage instead of taking 8 damage. Not a huge problem. 14, huh? The easy play is just this. And actually, I feel a lot better. This guy's a much easier fight. I mean, he's not an elite, so it makes perfect sense, but... Perhaps, you know, the closer you get to the end, the more I start... I'm skipping the elite, don't kid yourself. The closer we get to the end, the more I'm like, maybe there's a chance. I don't think it's likely, necessarily. But maybe there's a chance. 44 damage. I mean, 34 on you, though. It's tough. That's a tough call. I would have liked to have gotten some extra damage done to you because you're going to be a friggin' nightmare. But, I mean, dude, Hologram Mind Blast is pretty good. But the question, I guess, becomes, do we need it? We may well not need it. It's a very slow turn. There's no Wombus to be found on that turn. But I'm going to suggest that maybe that's okay here. I think we should Deep Breath. Secret Weapon. You don't really want an all-for-one. A Mind Blast. 32 damage. It's a hit. It's not... Oh, I mean, actually, it is pretty terrible. I didn't think we were this... Oh my god, Glacier. I didn't think we were this dangerous. Or this endangered. Glacier is amazing, though. So somebody's got to go. That's the easy answer here. We probably are going to have to play at least one of these and then 3 attacks. So Mind Blast is totally going to ice one. So you should focus on killing the other one. Alright, that didn't go so badly. It didn't go so well, but it didn't go so badly. Probably this. Little beam cell. Kind of like an all-for-one into a kill. Then you go for broke. Get this out there. This. Weaken for no reason. I'm thinking if you hologram, you could bring back a 1-cost card, which does not exist. So instead we'll bring back a 32 damage claw. Okay, fair enough. It's highly, highly unlikely we hit you for 33. It might be more likely now. It might be guaranteed now. Oh, give me more cold snaps. Just one more room and then we have a shot. I would not say a good shot. And I hate these guys. You're just the worst. Gonna need at least one of these. Then let's focus on this guy. We can't even Mind Blast, Hologram, Mind Blast. We could Hologram, go for the eyes. Mind Blast, wipe 1. If I'm being 1000% honest, I think we're in a lot of trouble against the Awakened one. If we even make it there. Okay, all 3 are attacking. That's extremely sick. We gotta take out Mr. 10 damage if possible. We should lose this. Without being, like, needlessly morose, I mean, we should, like, we deserve to lose this as well. I think we've played okay turn to turn, but I could be wrong. But I think we made a lot of meta-game, like, deck-building bad decisions. I really think this is the turn you play Fission. Evoke all your orbs and get some block. 19? Oh, you're right. You guys don't get affected by time dilation. Well, you're doing 26, and I only have 21. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a strong performance today. But hopefully you enjoyed watching us kind of rage against the dawning of the good night. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.